All right, the UFC's final card of the year is on December 19th. It is a ridiculous card, and it got even more ridiculous with the addition of a bantamweight matchup between Jose Aldo and this man back on the show, Marlon Cheeto Vera. Marlon, good to see you, man. How are you?
Good to see you, brother. Too. I'm good. Turning in the morning. Right now, I'm going with my wife to pick up my daughter in school, and life is good. I'm blessed. I have the chance to work, and in this crazy year, many people lose jobs. Many people life just get fucked over. I'm so lucky the UFC is helping me. I can provide for my family because without UFC, we all fucked. So thanks, UFC. Let's just start with that.
Yeah, well said. I mean, this is something else, Marlon, because this is, like you said, 2020 has just been a crazy year, and it's been a crazy year for you because it started off with that controversial decision loss to Song Yudong. You go on to hand Sean O'Malley his first loss, which sort of catapulted you to another level, and now you're going to fight Jose freaking Aldo to cap it off. Like, things can change and evolve rapidly in this sport, and you are big time proof of that, are you not?
I always tell people like life is a trip. One day you might be down, and the next day, without you knowing, you're fucking rocking up. So it's all about energy. It's all about how you keep your mind, how you keep your mindset, your work ethic. Because you know, in MMA in specific, life is so crazy. You can lose three fights, then you won one, somebody get hurt, and all of a sudden you're catching a great fight, and nobody even knew you were supposed to be there. But it's life, and I mentally stay positive. I mentally stay sharp the whole time, and yeah, I started the year very shitty. Corona hit right before that. We all were scared. It was all panicking and bullshit. And guess what? You just say fuck it, and you just keep going forward, and you find a way to make it happen, because there's always a way. There is just people that don't want to put enough energy and effort into things, and I always think like that. There's always a way. So, worst of the worst, it didn't go my way. I will never regret anything, because I know I'm putting everything on every single day, just to make sure I keep my goals, and I make things happen for me and my family.
Yeah, and you've shown a lot this year for sure. I mean, after the win over O'Malley, the buzz just sort of continued on, and the saga between you and O'Malley kind of moved on because Sean continued to talk about you. You addressed it enough, but it certainly has fizzled out at this point, at least for the time being. That chapter in your career is behind you. That has to be refreshing ahead of this fight. Like, I'm sure you're going to get asked about it at the media day and such, but it has to be a refreshing feeling knowing that the page has officially turned from you and Sean O'Malley at this point, right?
Dude, for me, fighting is just for me. Fighting is one night. We go in there. I make sure I get that double check, and after that, I can care less about you. Like, even if you beat me, the next day I'm over. Like, what I can fucking do? Go to your house, knock your door, and tell you I want to fight you. I'm fighting for free. Don't get me wrong. If there's a chance to fight you again, if the UFC come like, hey, you want this rematch? I'm like, fuck, yes, maybe. Like, you gotta see where you are at that moment, and if that's what is convenient for you. But like, for example, if they were coming right now like, hey, son, you don't need an opponent, I'm like, fuck yeah, I fuck him up again. Why not? But if they call me for some fight that I'm like, nah, it's okay. I'm like, it's okay. He beat me. Good for him. Go. God bless you. I like, if you go see the at the beginning of my UFC career, the guys that beat me at the beginning, where they am, where I am. Why do you want to chase that rematch with somebody that is dead? So, fuck it.
Fair enough. I remember we spoke like a couple days after that win, and you listed off a few names that you thought made sense for you next. Jimmy Rivera was kind of the one that everyone sort of put their finger on. You seem to have wanted that fight. You mentioned Jose Aldo as well. You shot for the stars a little bit, and now you're going to fight him on December 19th. When you found out that Aldo was the guy, how did you react to that?
I kind of knew a little bit before we talked. Like, Aldo was in the conversation, Cruz was in the conversation, Rivera wasn't in the conversation, because everybody knows he will run away from me his whole life. So I passed that already months ago, years ago. But with Aldo, they told me like, hey, there's a big chance you can fight him. Like, you're coming off a big win. He just lost for the title, so it's kind of like a fight that makes sense. I'm a fucking nerd, so I can see how things work in the UFC. So that's a chance for him to prove he can still beating the up and comers. and it's a fucking chance for me to send him home and be like, hey, motherfuckers, I'm gonna be a world champion right now. So we both have a big opportunity, and I'm not gonna let it off the hook. So when they called me like, hey, Al is the guy, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Like, let's do it tomorrow. Um, so I was excited. I was as happy as any other fight. When they call me there's fight, I'm excited because there's a chance to show my improvements. There's a chance to climb the ladder, and there's a chance to put in a fucking hell of a fight. And I love that. I love that we're locked in a cage and somebody's gonna cry and somebody's gonna laugh afterwards. And it just excited me a lot to be in that position and against somebody like that. Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, worse places to be in your career than having your options be Dominic Cruz and Jose Aldo coming off of a win over Sean O'Malley, right? I mean, man, that's got to tell you something about how the UFC views you too. Like they obviously have a lot of faith in you and they see a lot in you to put you in this position, right?
I still don't even know why they make that was probably the worst matches for him, But they call me, you want to fight that guy? I'm like, fuck yeah, I fight that guy. I fight that guy or any other one. Like that after I beat him, Dana told me one thing, it's like, hey kid, you never refuse a fight. I'm like, I will never fucking refuse a fight. Like for me, it's not about like, oh, these guys style is not good for you. Like, oh, these guys do that. Like, I'm a fucking fighter. I'm gonna fight my ass off against anybody. I don't care if you're a wrestler, karate kid, you're a boxer. I'm a fighter, and I train every single area to make sure I'm not just a one-dimensional guy. And I prove it. I submit guys, I beat up guys, I kick guys, I punch guys. I'm not a master at anyone, but I'm pretty damn good at every single area. So, and there's something that is really important, and people don't realize that it's not just me knowing technique. It's the fight that is in me. It's the hunger I have inside me. Like I always want more. I will always will to put my everything on the line in order to make it happen. So, you know, it's gonna be a motherfucker. I'm ready to go any time of the year. I train hard. I have great coaches and good energy around me. And I always said it's all about energy.
Does this one feel any different to you, or does it feel like any other fight?
It's just another day in the office. It's just a different date. It's December 19th, and it's a fucking fight. And when they lock the cage, and after Bruce is out of the cage, I'm gonna go and fight my ass off, and I'm willing to hurt this guy, and I'm willing to take it in order to win. So I'm not gonna shy away, and like the samurai say, like I'm accepting death in order to achieve victory, and I'm not fucking around with that. I'm gonna be the last guy that I'm gonna left anything off the hook. So I'm coming. I'm coming in hot. Like that was my post when I announced the fight. I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in red fucking hot.
He obviously longtime champion at 145, dropped to 35, had the very close fight with Marlon Vera, fought Piotr Jan for the title in July, got finished in that one, but Aldo was certainly competitive for a good chunk of that fight. So, you said you're a nerd, you pay attention to what's going on in your division and around the sport. What have you made of Aldo at 135 and how he's performed at this new weight class?
He's a fucking great fighter. He's a tough guy. He's not an easy match for nobody. He's been fighting huge guys his whole career, so I'm not thinking it's gonna be any different than a hard fight. So I train hard. I make sure I do everything possible. I can train. I can work. I can improve. I can make questions to my coaches like how I can improve, how I can be this guy, and I ask them separately, and they might make up my mind. I'm like, okay, like this makes sense. This part is hard to me. Like, hey, coach, I don't think I like that, but I'm an open book, and I let them write everything they want, and then I take what's the best of it, and I just wake up every morning thinking there's something to be done. So I'm always busy. I'm always training, and I'm lucky my family understand. My wife understand, my kids understand because it's for them. Like I'm not trying to win a fight because it's cool to win. Fuck, who like fighting? It's stressful, and then you don't know when you're fighting, blah blah blah. You might get hurt, but at the same time I love it, and it's for them, and I love them more than I love myself. So it's for my family. So I wake up every morning thinking I need to do something, and it's gonna be a hell of a fight. The guy is tough. The guy is good, and he's good everywhere too. So we're gonna have a great fight.
Yeah, it's a little different setup from the O'Malley fight, because the O'Malley fight was, it was all about the hype. Can he get over this next level? There's a little bit of trash talk. There's some gamesmanship with the hair. This fight builds itself. We don't need any extra shenanigans. There's no trash talk. Just two high-level fighters getting in there, and they're going to fight, and you guys are going to see who the better man is. How much are you looking forward to this fight week where it's just about the fight and not about any of the other BS?
I'm cool with both. I'm cool with the quiet guy, and I'm cool with the loud guy, because at the end of the day, we're gonna be locked in the cage. And again, it's all when mental games comes in the table, and you see who's the real deal. Because how many guys lost the fight before they walk in? How many guys already like consume about it? Like Aldo McGregor. Aldo walked to that cage, lost. He went to that cage like already giving up. So I'm not that person. If you talk shit to me, I can play the game. If you don't talk shit to me, I can care less. I'm gonna try to kill you anyways. I'm not here to make friends and be cool with anybody. I'm here to make money and one day become a world champion. And if I have to fight hard for that, I'm down for that. So it's the same for me. It's just another day in the office, and whoever is in front of me is gonna be for a long night.
You're right. You're riding this nice wave of momentum right now heading into this fight. And Aldo, of course, has lost 3 in a row and 5 of his last 7. And, there's some people in this, the fans especially can be a little fickle, and they're like, oh, Marlon's fighting Jose Aldo. He's lost 3 in a row. It's not the biggest deal. But to me, I look at it differently. I feel like regardless of where Aldo is in his career, this is a very important fight for him. You're probably going to see the very best Jose Aldo that we've ever seen in the octagon, because his back's against the wall and there's a little extra pressure on him. Do you feel that way as well, that you're going to see the very best Jose Aldo we've seen?
I hope so. So I can see where I am, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna just push every single limit that I have on myself, and I'm gonna break this guy. I'm gonna just walk through him, and I'm not just talking. I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna go I go in every single fight. I'm gonna go and fight like a fucking motherfucker. I'm gonna put it on him.
Have you thought about where a win over Jose Aldo can take you in your career? Like you go from a ranked guy to a title contender in a matter of months. Like, have you allowed yourself to think that far and envision where a win can take you, especially if you do something impressive in there?
100%. I already see myself knocking that door, but first things first, you're gonna go and beat the guy, and first things first, you gotta beat the guy. But I already have the picture in my mind. I already know what I will say when I win. I know who I'm gonna ask for when I win, and it's all about that. It's all about like winning first. But you can make all the trash talk, you can get all the hype in the world. You lose the fight, and people won't believe your bullshit. So I keep it very honest in that sense, and fight and win first. You need to win. You can talk, you can be confident, but no one cares when you lost. So you better win. And I'm walking to that cage confidence I can win. Hola, Anita.
So you already have a name ready to go. You don't have to tell me now, obviously, because you won't, I'm sure.
Yeah. I do have the names in my head. You beat the guy that just fought for the title. I can care less if he lost 3 in a row. He just fought for the title, so that put me right there in the line. So first things first, I go put this guy out, and then I call my shots.
Do you have an official prediction here? Like, obviously, you're not going to say Jose Aldo is going to win, but do you see yourself getting the finish? Do you see a specific way? Like, are we even thinking about that at this point in your career?
I'm gonna stop him. There's no doubt I'm not gonna do it. I worked too hard for just going there, and this is the fight that I need to show. What I've been showing in the last 7 or 5 fights. I was gonna go in there and just push it until it breaks, and you won't keep up with me. I know that because I know how hard I push myself, and I always find people better than me so I can push extra. I'm never with the same circle and like, oh, if I beat you, I only go with you. I'm always looking for people that kick my butt so I can be better, and that's what I've been doing, and that's why I can push it forward in the fight. That's why I can give that little extra mile in there, because I'm always looking for a way to be better before the fight happens, because it's so easy to get comfy and train with the same guy every day, and then you get used to that guy. You know what this guy is gonna do to you. I'm always looking for like brand new opponents in the gym so I can get better. because that's what you really need. And then I'm always asking to my coaches to help me get better. I make them questions, and I'm always in a search for getting better because it's so easy to just get comfortable with what you have. That's not me. If I'm running 13 miles, I put up to 14, and then I go to 15, and then I'm always going up, up, up because it's easy to get comfy in the same place. I'm never comfy. I'm always tired, and I always know I'm putting in the good work, and that goes with the hand with the recovery too. My recovery is great too. I use a lot of tools that help me recover, and just make sure I can keep up with my training because I'm gonna push myself harder than any other day the following day.
There's a science to it, right?
There is it, and you need to make questions. You need to do research. That's why I have a nutritionist. That's why I have a boxing coach. I have a kickboxing coach. I have a jiu-jitsu coach, a wrestling coach. I have a mind coach, and I have one guy for every single area, and they do a great job. I love the work they do for me, and we have great relationships. So it's all about that. It's all about like just finding the best around you to become the best, and it's been working so far so good.
Really looking forward to this fight. Last thing before we let you go, I don't want to keep you too much from your family, but did you have a chance to watch Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones on Saturday night? And if so, what did you think of it?
That was awful, but good for them and good money. That was awful, but I heard they're making a big checks, and it was for the charity, so good for the whole cause. But this is not a sport for all people. We all know that. I respect them, their legs. I'm a fan of them. Of course, I'm not a really boxing fan, so I'm not gonna fake. I don't even know who they fought. I just probably know one or two fights they had, but I'm an MMA guy. But that wasn't a good fight. That was a good sparring session, but be good at. But for what I hear, the charity thing, and I'm sure people get the help for that. That's a noble cause. So I respect and I appreciate that. But the fight was awful.
How did you react to the draw? Like, did it surprise you at all?
Well, I really from what I understand. I don't think I'm making this up, but I thought when you do both guys get the highs. So like actually, I thought Tyson did a little more. Like in my eyes, he could win the decision. But when you do an exhibition match, there's no winner. It's an exhibition match. It's 2 minute rounds. 2 minutes. The greatest boxers are minutes at 40, 50 years old. I don't know. I don't even know that, but that was funny. Hey, but again, good for them. They make a lot of money.
Well said. Well, Marlon, I appreciate the time, man. I'm very excited you're getting a fight of this caliber to wrap up the year, and it's been an interesting year for us all, and a very good year for you, despite how it began and where we're at right now. So wish you all the best, man. Good luck in the rest of training, and best of luck on December 19th against Jose Aldo.
I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for everything.
Absolutely. Good talking to you again.